Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of All Kinds of Advice. And for today's topic, we have an interesting story that we will be discussing and providing advice on. So in today's story in particular, we have Joseline Hernandez, which is a former love and hip hop star. She was quite the character, and she was pretty popular on Love on Hip Hop. That's where we sort of got introduced to the Puerto Rican princess on that channel. Okay, so she found herself in a chaotic situation involving arrests, a brutal beatdown, and a boxing match gone wild. So let's dive into the details and see what advice we can draw from this particular incident. So just to give a bit of context, so on Sunday, Floyd Mayweather, which, he has retired, he's known as one of the greatest fighters of all time. He actually had a match on Sunday, which was yesterday, against John Gotti, I believe. So they were supposed to, fight each other and go against each other, which, the fight did happen. But during that fight, Joseline Hernandez fought with this other young lady, which I believe her name is Big Lex. So the two of them, for whatever reason, started fighting with each other. The fight apparently got so intense and chaotic and out of hand that pretty much it seemed like Jocelyn beat her up so badly that, unfortunately, of course, that her top, you know, it came off like during the fight. Like, so imagine like through the fight, both of you are fighting against each other, you're throwing fists against each other, and like your top exposes, and then everyone is seeing like, your breast area. It kind of puts you in a sort of uncomfortable situation, because not only are you getting beat up, in terms of with big legs, but then your body is exposed for the people that are at the fight to see. And it's really, really an unfortunate situation. I hope Big Lex is doing okay. I hope she did not sustain, a lot of injuries. And we know that Jocelyn, she has a history of wanting to fight. I did when when I used to watch Love on Hip Hop. I used to see that sometimes she would fight with the other her other colleagues or castmates. She would fight with them. I did see on some occasions, she did fight with Stevie as well. So it seems as though she has, a history of, she's not going to take no sort of talk from anyone. She's going to stand up for herself. She seems like she can be a bit impulsive. For this, even though we are reporting on this particular story, I do want to make it known that, I am going to be objective and not picking sides. I want these two women, if they do have some sort of problem with each other or they have any sort of beef, they should work it out with each other. But I don't know if they will, because not only has, I feel like, Jocelyn kind of embarrassed Big Lex, because people are gonna know now for eternity that Jocelyn has beat up Big Lex. So they're gonna kind of see it as she has the upper hand. But I want to encourage that these women, get try their best to get along with each other, even if they may not like each other, whatever beef that they have. Hopefully, when this situation does blow off, they're able to put it under the rug. And yeah, I feel like that would be the best thing. But one thing that I wanted to discuss as well, with such a big event like Mayweather is such a big deal. Like, this fight like should have had like even more security, in my opinion. Like, why is it that security could not stop these women from fighting and having this situation go out of control? Like, I don't feel like security did their job well enough. And I know when I was researching and I read the article from TMZ, it mentioned that, the security did try their best to stop, but then Jocelyn was even attacking the security as well. But there should be security that is able to handle this situation and able to not have Joseline, handle them in a way that they're not able to do their job properly. Then if your security can't handle Joseline, whether she is, being violent or anything of that sort, then I don't think going forward they should hire that security, or a group of security going forward for any fight, because then it becomes dangerous, in my opinion. So these events have to really, really be careful who they're hiring for security going forward, in my opinion. And imagine you are a spectator at this fight, you're in the audience, the main objective it was to come and see, Floyd and Gotti fight. And you paid your money. I'm not sure if the tickets are expensive to these type of events, but I would have been a little bit disappointed, knowing that I came to see this fight and then it broke out into other things. Maybe some people might be like, oh, this is super entertaining. But I feel like when you pay so much money, you should kind of get what, you paid for, and there shouldn't be anything on the side that's going to prevent you from having to watch this fight. And it wasn't even like the fight between Joseline and Big Lex was the main focal point of the event. But apparently, the management team for Floyd and Gotti also got into a little bit of a brawl. And then what was funny, in my opinion, so Gotti apparently got disqualified from the fight. And even when he got disqualified, because I think he was like touching too much, something of that sort, he got disqualified. And my man thought it was like in his best interest to continue fighting. And I found that aspect of it funny. It's like you're disqualified from the fight. Why are you continuing to fight? Like, even if you lose to Floyd, kind of take it like a champ and be like, you know what, I lost, and like end it like that. But they had to sort of security had to even get involved to have to stop him. Like he did not get it in his head that, this fight was over, like you're disqualified. So in my opinion, I feel like, Floyd, even though the fight didn't go to the end, like, he got disqualified, Gotti got disqualified. At the end, you kind of have to look at it like Floyd is, the winner of that fight. And whatever money, because I know they're not going to do it for free, whatever money was designated for that fight, that should go to Floyd, because the other fighter, Gotti, got disqualified, in my opinion. But I don't know, like if some people were upset, or if they're thinking like, okay, I'm not upset, I got my money's worth. Um, even though he got disqualified, I got my money's worth and I enjoyed it. But if I was, part of that audience, I would have wanted to see them fight till the end. I wouldn't have wanted Gotti to be disqualified, just so that it was like a fair fight. In my opinion. But the main thing we want to talk about, I was going to talk about that a little bit to kind of give some context to you all. But Joseline seems like she was ready to throw hands. Like she was like, this girl is going to get the beat down. Even at one point, Joseline chased down Big Lex. Like she was ready to fight. She was ready to throw hands. She she was not going to let up. And I all I can say is it's just unfortunate. I'm all about women empowerment, want to see women get along with each other, but it's just unfortunate that this had to happen at such a big event. And then now, Joseline is obviously facing charges, which I feel like all of this could have been avoided. And it does seem like Big Lex and Joseline have a history of fighting with each other. They seem like they have some sort of beef with each other, because I was watching Joseline has a show called Joseline's Cabaret, and Big Lex was on that show, and I was watching a little snippet of the show, and I seen that Big Lex in one of the episodes was fighting with Joseline. So there is some level of like a history of them not liking each other. But then Big Lex at the same time, even though I do feel sorry for her that she got beat up, she seems like, she kind of had it coming in some people can say it seems like she kind of had it coming because she was always trying to throw some shots at Joseline. I think she even did like a diss song called like Double Homicide, if I'm not mistaken, against Joseline. So it seems like it's a lot of um pent up frustration. Like it's been a buildup of frustration against each other where they want to fight. And then Big Lex, when I was watching some of her videos with her when she was on some interviews, she did say she could be a bit impulsive. So we don't know if while they were at this Mayweather fight, probably they true words at each other. And then both of them were like, no, 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 honey, like you ain't gonna talk to me like this. Like you're gonna get these hands. Because sometimes when people for a lot of people, like people could say things to them, and instead of just ignoring it or being like, you know what, I'm not gonna get myself involved into something that's gonna turn into a fight because I don't want any sort of record. I'm just gonna leave it. A lot of people can't ignore someone else dissing them, and that's when it turns into a fight, most likely. And this could have been the case for Jocelyn and Big Lex. Probably it started as a verbal argument, and then it escalated into this beatdown where one of them is hurt. Both of them are probably hurt, but one is hurt more than the other. And then Jocelyn is going to be facing charges right now. So this put a lot of negative implications for Jocelyn, in my opinion. I feel like she should have walked away from this because now we don't know what that's gonna do for her, her deals that she has. She does have some deals with Zeus Network. She does have probably she has other endorsements as well. Now, because this is kind of considered like a violent issue, a domestic issue, she is probably maybe going to lose some of her deals. Because we do see in the past for other people that have gotten themselves in situations as it relates to any sort of physical battery situation, a lot of the times their endorsements don't want to be associated with them anymore and they start pulling their deals. So Jocelyn, this is going to be like, I think, like a lesson for you to know where you have to walk away from some situations because it can have a financial impact on you where you start losing money. So this might be something where you want to go to counseling perhaps to work on your anger, and maybe also Big Lex, maybe she can probably consider some counseling as well where she could just walk away from situations that are not worth it and are going to damage their career path. That's what I think. But, some people may find this entertaining, but I don't like to see women fighting against each other. And it just so happened that this happened at a Floyd event, so people are kind of seeing two fight in one. So you're kind of getting double for the price that you actually paid. You paid for one fight, but then you're seeing two fight at the same time. And, sometimes impulse can really take us down a bad road where we might regret actually when we cool down. And then we know Jocelyn has like a 5-year-old daughter. I believe that's how old her daughter is. I think at the moment, Stevie, her ex-boyfriend, has, custody of her child, and I think she has visitation rights. Because last time when I was watching, when she was on a show called Marriage Boot Camp with her spouse, she had broke down in tears when she mentioned initially that Stevie had gotten custody of her child. So when you get yourself involved in situations like this, what are the implications now as far as, your child custody? Is she going to have visitation rights now, or is she going to get split custody? Like it's all these things because um, you know, the court system is going to look at it like she's not a fit mother if she's out here throwing hands and trying to fight people. And also when I was reading the TMZ article, it said that not only did she fight Big Leg, she fought the security, and she also fought against like some random people. I don't know if it was provoked, like they provoked her and then she started fighting against them. But Jocelyn, honey, like you gotta do better, like for your career, for your family, for your daughter as well. And in Big Lex, I hope you are okay. I hope it wasn't because of you guys were arguing with each other that it extended to that. But I could not start this week without talking about this drama. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think like a verbal art altercation happened that stirred this fight immensely? Do you feel like Joseline should take some counseling classes going forward so she's not as impulsive and want to fight everyone? Do you think also, even though Big Lex seems to be the victim in this particular situation, do you think that she provoked Joseline? Do you think that she should also take some counseling as well? Let me know what your take is. Whatever I have mentioned today is just all allegedly based on, the story that I seen that was written by TMZ. But let me know. I love to keep it inclusive. I want to know your feedback. Again, I can't reiterate that you do not have to agree with me. Let's, spark up a conversation and get this going. But this is what happened on the weekend. Shout out to Floyd Mayweather. He was in retirement and he came back for this fight. Hopefully going forward, he can, do more with other opponents. But this is all for today. Was the fight against the Puerto Rican princess and Big Lex. It was entertaining. However, we do want to see these women get along. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's get this to 1,000 subscribers. Until next time, I'll see you all. Ciao.